Hello everybody, welcome back. Thanks so much for being here. Today I'm going to tell you how I am a cliche tarot reader or tarot practitioner. This is basically a list of things that I do that I consider to be cliche things to have or to do as a tarot reader, which is what I am in case you didn't know that yet. The first cliche thing is I have more than one version of a deck. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm Anna from Astralladytarot, and this video is supposed to be something fun, something light. Don't take this too seriously, but it's kind of like poking a little bit of fun at myself. But with the first point, just look at all these different Rider-Waite-Smith versions. It's just that deck that I have. And I have had more. I'm not actually much of a collector, but I consider at least these 4 decks to be either Pixie's artwork or the really, really close reproduction. The Royal Fez or Moroccan Fez is so Rider-Waite-Smith. So it's really a clone, you could say. Just look at that. But it really doesn't matter, right? As a tarot lover, I think we can have probably like 20 or maybe 30 different Rider-Waite-Smith versions. That is this type of, these drawings really. And we will always find something different, like different cardstock, different colorations, different languages if that's something that you care about, different sizes, maybe even different backs, or like gilded or not gilded, trimmed or not trimmed, because we also like a good deck modification, or vintage out of print or not vintage out of print, regularly available. And then we make the difference between that as well. So just look at all these different versions of this deck that I own. It's the Rider-Waite-Smith, it's the standard tarot deck, or the tarot images that most people outside of the tarot community, or even in the tarot community really, are familiar with. I really love that deck, but I have 4 different versions of that original deck, but these 4 to me are different enough to keep. I have my favorite one, which is the Centennial, which is thicker cardstock and more muted colors. Then I have the blue box, which is just really a collector's item. I mean, I'm not much of a collector, but this baby is not leaving my collection. The Royal Fez is also a very sought after tarot. I just happened to stumble upon it one day, and it's different enough for me to keep because it's not Pixie's artwork. And then here, this is a very 70s looking 90s deck. It looks 70s, but it was made in the 90s is what I mean to say. And it's basically a redrawing or repainted, in this case, exactly the same images. So number 2, I own backup decks of my favorite decks. This means that I bought the exact same version of a deck twice, just in case something would happen to the first deck of cards. My Rider-Waite-Smith backup deck became a client deck, meaning I used that deck to read with for clients, because yes, we make that distinction sometimes, actually most of the time. Then I have a just slightly different version of the Thoth deck that I use for clients. That was the reasoning behind buying a second version of that deck, this deck. And then finally, I have a backup version of my beloved Triomphe della Luna paradoxical deck, just in case something would happen to this deck, and just in case, it would be unavailable, which I believe it is actually at this point. The deck, the images are still available. This is a Patrick Valenza deck, but not in this colorway. And you have to understand, these cards, as a tarot reader, tarot lover, they are our tools and we use them every day. They're supposed to be used. Of course, some decks, just like the blue box that I've shown, is just there to be pretty on the shelf and to look through every so often, or to, yeah, maybe do a reading with. Why not? Because we, we can read these cards. But the decks that we really, really love, like this one, there's really that connection that is growing, that is made, is what I'm trying to say. And when you have your favorite deck, I have a feeling it's only logical to have a backup deck, because you just want to keep that deck forever, and because these cards are used so often, it's just, it's just so easy to think that they might get lost or get damaged or something like that. So point 3, I have a tarot tattoo on my arm. It's the Two of Cups, and it's actually the Two of Cups from the Patrick Valenza deck, my favorite deck that I was talking about. So this tattoo is strictly tarot for me. I mean, I also have the alchemical symbols for the 4 elements on my palm. I have a little moon. I have a little wave that represents the sea, because it's the push and pull of those between the moon and the sea. So those are all things that I consider to have a deeper meaning and is connected to something spiritual for me, but those aren't strictly tarot tattoos, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm sure I'll get some more at some point. I'm not really in a hurry, but I do enjoy tattoos. Cliche tarot reader thing, point 4, I drink tea. I think the reason that this is a cliche thing for tarot readers is because we are supposed to be these spiritual beings, right? And with spirituality comes a certain calm, I think. And I believe we consider tea to be something that is calming or something. Hmm. Point 5, I own crystals. This thing is heavy. I just thrifted this beauty. The vessel. To be honest, I'm still not using my crystals a lot, but I am interested in their, properties, I guess, and why some of them call to me and others don't, and how I feel called to use them or not even. But to be honest, most of my crystals come in the form of jewelry, especially rings, so. Point 6, I have so many books about tarot. It's insane. At some point in the YouTube thing, I've uploaded a video showing my magical bookcase with so many books about tarot already, but I think I should just do regular updates on that topic, because since that video, I've read and acquired many, many more books about tarot. And it's interesting, isn't it? How many books we can read about the same topic and still not get sick of it. Um, I mean, to be honest, there is obviously that pet peeve that all of us tarot readers probably have, when an older, more dated book starts off the introduction of the book with, the tarot originated in ancient Egypt, and these magical, mystical cards are here to predict your future. Or the good old, a tarot deck should always, always be kept in clean white satin fabric. But there are also different points of view in not only modern books, but also older books that we maybe don't know about. And just many different links that can be made between the world of tarot and really any other form of mysticism, or even, psychology, or any type of good old self-help book. There's always more to read and more to learn and more to question. So that's why I think it's so versatile still, even if it's a tarot book. Point 7, I have a tarot journal, meaning I have a journal because tarot is so, Well, not exactly a daily practice at this point, but I do it so much and it's just related to everyday life. Meaning I write a lot, I read a lot, all of those things I enjoy. So I like to write down the readings that I do for myself. I like to write down the interactions that I've had with clients. I like to write down my dreams, actually. I like to write down my insecurities and how I managed to understand them, and to basically better myself. It's just a process, and writing things down really helps. So basically, I'm writing down in that journal, or in those journals, everything that I think is worth writing down and reading back later, maybe. Or not, because writing is also just an activity that I like to do, so that I just enjoy doing. So Point 8. I love to shuffle. What is it with shuffling and tarot readers? Honestly, shuffling soothes me. The overhand shuffle, the bridging of the cards, however that's called, all the different types of shuffling. Also, 2 words: card stock. Because tarot is a tactile experience. I mean, you're not going to be able to read the cards probably without shuffling. You're probably never really going to read the cards without shuffling a deck. And so it also has to feel nice. And when it does, oh my. Point 9, I am an adult who doesn't have kids, by the way, who still has fairy lights in the house all the live long year. You can't really tell, but these are on. It's just the battery is very low, and I've just kept them in this thing. I just put them in there. But I'm wondering though, why is that even related to tarot practice? Because I watch you all, YouTube, okay? A lot of you have fairy lights in the house. So what's up with that? Point 10, which is also a weird phenomenon, but I realized that I never run out of candles because candles are very important to me. Oh, that's fireworks. Don't know why. What's the party, man? Hartje, nee, 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 nee. Blijf liggen. See, now it scares my dog. And there's a storm coming, and she's going to be scared for a few days because I think there's going to be a lot of thunder. Ja, het is oké, schatje. Ga maar weer in je mand. Doe maar. Anyway, I was talking about candles. Candles are immensely important. You can't do a good reading without a candle. Just joking, you can. We just love candles, okay? Point 11, I have a designated space in my home where I read the cards. Even though I also read the cards in other spots in my home, and of course outside my home, really anywhere I go, because one of the beauties of tarot is that you can pretty much do it everywhere. Still, there's that decorated, designated, weird-looking table in the house that I think we all have. And we all love it, we all enjoy it, but I'm not afraid to admit this is really cliche of me. Those were the answers to how am I a cliche tarot reader, and I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to hear in the comments underneath this video or in a video response, in what way do you relate to this? Are any of the points that I've made, do they apply to you? Have I left something out? Do you have anything to add to the list? That would be cool, because maybe some other people do that as well, and then maybe there is something that I've clearly missed that I do that is a cliche thing that you just want to tell me about. I would love to hear that as well. If you're wondering, why didn't you include this in your list? Let's see it. Where is it? Why didn't I mention it? All of that good stuff to hear. Alright, if you like this video, leave a like. If you're a new subscriber after watching this, please let me know in the comments as well so I can properly welcome you to this online space. Do yourself a favor and don't hit the notification bell. That's just madness. If you wish to support this work or this channel, visit my Patreon, it's linked below. I get much more into magic on there, although there's plenty of tarot stuff as well. I'll see you next week. I upload on Sundays. Don't go yet though. If you like this video, I will link in the screen a video that you will surely enjoy as well. So go ahead and click on that. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.